Hello everyone, it's Cherie. It's May 2024 and this is my quick update video slash TBR TBV. Still don't know what to call to be watched or to be viewed yet. But anyway, okay, so the 99%, my indie film, it's still in the breaking down the script process. So basically I'm entering data into a spreadsheet. And so then I can sort the spreadsheet and figure out, how many nighttime scenes are there versus daytime scenes. How many scenes are at this location? How many scenes need this actor? And then once that is all in there and we're able to go through and do all the sorting, that will help inform the schedule, which will help inform the budget. So yeah, just a tedious process, still going, still going. Dumpster Donna, I submitted it to a new company searching comedies, but before I did that, I changed the logline because I felt like the logline I had before was not getting people interested. So I'm going to make a video about it where I say what my former logline was versus the new one. So keep an eye out for that. The Megalopolis trailer dropped, or the teaser trailer, and it was amazing. Now, Megalopolis has had its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. That's, by the way, that's Francis Ford Coppola's, like, a project he's been working on for decades, and it's finally here. And if you don't know, Francis Ford Coppola did The Godfather, so he's a great director. Anyway, the Cannes, the people who saw it at Cannes are calling it bonkers and crazy, and it's divisive. So I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it opening weekend. It sounds like something I will really like, but I just hope it doesn't go the way of Babylon, which was also bonkers and crazy and excessive, but like for me, what turned me off about it was all its like gross bodily fluid type stuff. Like it had everything in it. And I don't like those kind of movies. I don't think Francis will do that. He's from an older film generation, so we'll see. But anyway, I am excited about that movie, and it's going to open sometime this year. I think he's still looking for an American distributor as of the time of me recording this. All right, now let's move on to what's on my shelf, books and DVDs. First with the books. Last month I had a bunch that I had checked out from the library, but I only finished 2 books last month. Both were the Marilyn Monroe books I'm using for research for a new script. And everything else I didn't finish, not even To Kill a Mockingbird, which I thought I would finish. Like I said, I'm a bad reader. So I did return one to the library. I didn't even, I just knew I wasn't going to finish it. It was about the Arabic female news reporters, journalists. Yeah, so I didn't finish that one. Then in that video from last month, I had asked for recommendations for Octavia Butler books. And Adrienne Gunter came through with some recommendations. And I checked out 2 from the library, Kindred and Parable of the Sower. Now, when I got home, I saw that Kindred was also wanted by someone else, so I could not renew it. And I knew I was going to not be able to finish it in 3 weeks, so I didn't start it. I returned it to the library. Evidently, there was a series based on it, and also just by the little I read about it, it was really reminiscent of a movie I've started on Netflix called Sankofa. It's about a woman who travels back in time to a plantation when there was slavery. And so I don't know if one like inspired the other or not, but it was just kind of interesting that these were both in my universe at the same time. Now, the one I did check out was Parable of the Sower, and unfortunately, the novel was already being read. They had 3 copies, and they were all checked out. So right now I'm number 3 in the holding list. But they did have this, which is a graphic novel of the book. Now, I don't know how much they align, if it's like a word for word kind of thing or what, but this is great. I love it. I'm loving it. I am a third of the way in. I don't know if I can, so it kind of looks like that. And I went into my library app this past week and found out now someone wants this. So I have to finish this now by the 24th, and because someone else is going to check it out. So yeah. All right. And I've got 2 other books. I checked Odd Magic by Patricia A. McKillop. And I have read most of her books, and I talked about her Real Master trilogy in my last month's video. I don't think I've read this one, so I'm really excited. I haven't started it yet. No one's requesting it because no one knows about her. But I am excited to eventually start this one. And then, okay, so May is Asian American Heritage Month and Pacific Island Heritage Month. So last year I had started this Patriot #1, and I never finished it. See what I mean about I'm a bad reader? I've gotten about a quarter of the way through. So I am picking this back up again this month, and hopefully this Asian American Heritage Month, I will finish that one. All right, moving on to movies. Last month I saw a couple of great films. Ali, Fear Eats the Soul, which is a German film with a Muslim immigrant who gets involved with this German woman, and it's lovely. I really loved it. And then I watched Captain Abu Raid. That was a rewatch. It was my number 2 movie last year, and I loved it so much I bought it. Now it's only available on streaming. I couldn't buy any like Region 1 DVD copies. I think America's Region 1, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, so that's the only way I could get it. And then there was, I don't know how to say it. It's Capernaum or Capernaum. That was a movie that was also, I believe, on the Harvard list. It's been recommended a lot. And it's about these 2 little kids in, I can't remember where they are, but it's an Arabic film. And the little kid wants to sue his parents for having him, the boy. And so initially I had checked this out from the library, but the copy was bad. Like it wouldn't play in my DVD player. So I returned it and I found it on Canopy, which is the library app. And so I started watching it, and it was the last day of the month, and I was really enjoying it. And then it was like 9 o'clock, and I was going to finish watching it. Like I had, I think, maybe an hour and a half left of the movie. And it's like, oh yeah, I can finish this by midnight. Well, I guess maybe the Canopy app is on New York time or something, because it disappeared and it wasn't available. And then the library system did something, and I had all these movies in my to be watched. I made separate watch lists for them in the Canopy app, like French films, horror films, Women's History Month films. I had like 100 movies. Most of them disappeared. So I emailed the library and I'm like, what's going on with the Canopy app? Like my movies are gone that I put in my wish list and stuff. And they said, oh yeah, due to budgetary things, we had to get rid of a bunch of streaming stuff. Okay, so last month I had checked out 8 DVDs and I ended up watching 5 of them. I returned all of them because this month, being Asian American Heritage Month, means that I was looking for some new films. All right, so here's what I checked out. The Apu trilogy. This is, it's Indian and it's very famous, and I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. There are 3 movies, and 2 of the movies are on the Harvard PhD list. So I'm going to watch all 3 because I'm a completionist or completist. Completionist? Anyway, I'm going to watch them all. The Ballad of Narayama. And I cannot remember what this is about or if I've even read what it's about. But these are all Criterion DVDs, by the way. And it's Japanese. Flowers of Shanghai. I'm going to assume this is a Chinese movie, but who knows? It could have been made by a different country. High and Low. And I have seen some video essays on this, and evidently, like, this just goes into blocking and how it's masterful, and it's a really interesting story. Okay, The Naked Island. This one evidently is almost silent. Or, okay, this one evidently doesn't have dialogue. I don't know. It sounds dreamy, and I don't know if I'll like it because I'm not really one for impressionistic type movies. But, when you can get a point across without dialogue, action versus words, that's always good. Sanjuro, Akira Kurosawa. I don't know what this is about at all, but it's on the list and it's a Criterion, so it's got to be good, right? Yojimbo, also Kurosawa. I possibly have already seen this one, but I didn't start making lists of all the movies I've seen in my life until like 2020, and I'm trying to go back and add ones as I remember them, but probably once I start watching this I'll know. There was a movie that I just watched last week that I had seen before. It's on all the lists, but I had forgotten I'd seen it, and it's called The Housemaid, and it's a South Korean kind of like domestic horror movie, and it's really good. And it was so funny. I started watching and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of something I'd seen a while ago where there was a staircase, and then I kept watching it. I'm like, oh, I've already seen this. But I was halfway through, so I just kept watching it again because obviously I didn't remember that I had seen the whole thing. And then, just in case I don't want to read subtitles, I have 2 movies that were given to me that I'm going to rewatch, but then I'll probably donate them. We'll see. One is Casino by Martin Scorsese, and then there's The Iron Lady starring Meryl Streep. Now, the thing about The Iron Lady, first off, she plays Margaret Thatcher, who is divisive. She doesn't sound like someone I would be in support of these days. But here's a photo. When my parents and I were on a trip to England, she happened to be walking down the street and she said hello to us. And like that was a big deal. Like how many? 1977. Okay, 1977. So I always have that memory. So I always had like a good impression of her in my mind. But based on what I've been hearing about her now with, like labor practices, and she was like in cahoots with Reagan on the trickle down economics kind of thing, and no. And then, okay, and so going back to the Asian Heritage Month. So on Canopy, one of the movies that was left is called Tropical Malady. It's from Thailand. That's on the Harvard list, so I'm going to watch that. Chungking Express from Hong Kong is on the list. I'm going to watch that on Fandango at home. And Yi Yi from Taiwan is on the list. And I will be watching that with my Amazon credits. So if you order something with Amazon and you wait until like the Tuesday, like you don't have to have it overnighted or whatever, they give you digital credits. And so I have a $3 digital credit, and Yi Yi is $2.89. So I might watch that tonight. And then on Prime, this is not like Amazon Prime rental. It's like you have to be a Prime member to watch it. And this movie is not available like on DVD or anything. DDLJ from India. This is a movie that has been running in India for, oh shoot, now I forgot. I want to say it's like 25 years or something. It's been running forever in this one theater in India. and it's very famous. And I just found out about it from a YouTuber, and it sounds really interesting. There's this banjo theme that goes all the way through that's very significant. So I am going to be house sitting for the neighbors with the three cats, and they have Amazon Prime. So I'm going to watch DDLJ when I'm over there, probably on Monday. All right, I think that's it. Oh, as far as I keep talking about this Harvard PhD film list, so that's something I found online, and I printed out the list. There are a total of 348 films. I've highlighted all the ones that I've seen. I've seen 106. So I still have to see 242. However, I am refusing to watch Electrocuting an Elephant, which was done by Thomas Edison, because that's just cruel, and I don't want to see that. It's a short. It was in like 1903 or something like that. And I don't know why they would put that on the list. You know, that's just mean. So anyway, I'm not going to watch that one, but I will try to watch all the 241 other movies. And I've got quite a few here in that library pile that I checked out. So wish me luck. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next month for the June update.